From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. U.S. President Donald Trump has been sworn in as America's 47th president. He says one of his first acts in office will be to begin the overhaul of the U.S. trade system to protect Americans.
We are establishing the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury, coming from foreign sources.
Trump's previously promised to put 25% tariffs on all Canadian goods coming into the U.S. But Trump's team indicates he won't hit Canada with tariffs, at least not yet.
Shortly before Trump was sworn into office in Washington, D.C., an incoming White House official pointed reporters to a Wall Street Journal report that said Trump plans to sign an executive order launching an investigation into alleged unfair trade and currency practices by Canada, Mexico, and China. Trump had threatened to hit Canada with steep 25% across-the-board tariffs in an executive order on his first day back in office. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has repeatedly said that Canada is ready to respond with countermeasures if Trump makes good on that threat. Brenda Molina Navidad, The Canadian Press.
Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault says it's deplorable U.S. President Trump is again pulling America out of the 2015 Paris Climate Accord. The Paris Agreement's a voluntary global climate pact where nations set targets to curb their greenhouse gas emissions. Guilbeault says the nearly 200 countries still in the pact will forge ahead without the United States. Former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland's trying to distance herself from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as she goes for his job. Freeland tells Toronto's CP24 she recently found herself disagreeing with the Prime Minister more often and decided the government was on the wrong path. A blast of Arctic air has sent temperatures plunging from New Brunswick to eastern Alberta. Extreme cold warnings are in effect across the country as temperatures have been feeling like minus 40 in parts of Alberta, minus 50 in areas of northern Ontario. The Public Health Agency of Canada says nearly 1,600 people may have been infected with salmonella. As Canadian Press reporter Lisa Laporte explains, it's linked to the recall of mini pastries.
The federal agency's director of outbreak management says that number is based on the agency's estimation that for every reported case, there's another 26 in the community. April Hexamer says many of those cases may have been mild or didn't require medical care and were therefore not reported. An outbreak notice was issued Saturday about 61 salmonella cases linked to Sweet Cream brand mini pastries.
The confirmed cases were in Quebec, Ontario, BC, Alberta, and New Brunswick. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Maple Leafs host the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight in a clash of Atlantic Division rivals. The division-leading Leafs enter the game 7 points ahead of the third-place Lightning, but the Bolts have played 3 fewer games. The Winnipeg Jets are on the road taking on the Utah Hockey Club tonight. Jets enter the game leading the Western Conference, but looking to bounce back from a 3-1 loss to Calgary on Saturday. In baseball, a team source tells the Canadian Press the Toronto Blue Jays have signed free agent slugger Anthony Santander. ESPN reports he signed a 5-year contract worth more than $90 million U.S. The Calgary Stampeders have re-signed American running back Dedrick Mills. In other CFL news, the Ottawa Redblacks have re-signed backup quarterback Dustin Crum. Ottawa's Gabriela Dabrowski and partner Aaron Routliffe of New Zealand will face Miyu Kato of Japan and Renata Zarazua of Mexico in the women's doubles quarterfinal round of the Australian Open. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.